Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to another fine edition of Scarefest Television. Now, tonight we're doing something just a little bit different. We're going to try it. We've teased around before that we would take phone calls. We've had absolutely Zippo luck with it. But Meredith Blackwell, who better show up in the chat room tonight or I'll be real pissed off, this was her damned idea, suggested that we actually have an episode devoted to what everybody's watching, myself included. Billy Crank, my co-host, who is just dying to share the phone number. I guarantee he's got weird people on the line, just ready to go. Billy is, of course, my co-host tonight. We'll be chatting back and forth, and just we're going to waste the hour. What can I tell you? We're just going to waste the hour and see how it goes. And this is kind of a beta test, if you will. Some things that have happened this week with the Scarefest. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the top. Announcements. I thought we were going to have some tonight. We've got about 20 contracts out right now. Some of them were supposed to be turned in by showtime tonight, but because we didn't get the final contract, I mean, basically we're just waiting on the signature now. All the little hammering and pecking is done. But we do have, so next week we're planning on just a flood of them next week. Now that's what I've been told. If I've been lied to, well, F me. So anyway, Friday passes. Through the weekend, buy one, get one free. This is for Friday night at the Scarefest. That's October 23rd. The reason we did Friday passes is because when we launched the day tickets for sale, we were actually selling more Friday passes than we were everything except weekend passes were about the same, but Friday passes were selling as fast as weekend passes. So we said, hey, if all these people want Friday passes, we're going to do them a solid and give them a 2-for-1 deal. So that's Friday passes. We're calling it My Bloody Valentine date night thing. But regardless, if you have to work on the weekend and Friday night's a night you get to come to Scarefest, this is the time to do it. Yeah, see, Meredith Blackwell, I was just told in the chat room, is at a concert tonight. She deserted me. This was her segment. It was her idea. And this is what you have to put up with when you deal with people. Just people in general. Anyway, love Meredith. She's one of our, she writes the weekend horror history. So, but I'm still pissed that she's not here. The, vendor sales are up. Oh no, she's at the she just joined and I've been talking about her. I've been trash talking her and now she's in chat. Blame Amber Truax for bringing that on. Anyway, vendor tables are on sale. Speaker applications are out there. Media pass applications are out there. Go to thescarefest.com and you'll just find a whole myriad of stuff that we've done. And we're just getting it all put together here. A couple things I'm going to be posting in the Facebook fan group over the next few days. We're looking for photos from our celebrity ghost hunts. We put it in the staff group and you all just sucked ass. You had nothing. And I know a bunch of you all go every year. So if you're out there and you're watching, and you've taken some good photos of the celebrity ghost hunts, we would love for you to share them with us. You can email them to me at scarefestradio@gmail.com. You can post them on Facebook and tag us or put it in the group or whatever. Also, another one, we're putting together a special page of past celebrities. So if you've got your favorite celebrity photos, like when they're at the table or a photo op or whatever, from past years at the Scarefest, we would love to see those. I'll be posting about that. Okay, let's go ahead and get Billy in here now that I've done the business. Billy, welcome back to the show.
Hey, it's good to be here, man. It's been a while.
It's been a while since you co-hosted, but it feels like you're never gone because we've been doing your segments. Billy, of course, we started the segment Billy Crank Goes because that's the only name I could come up with.
Right,
but,
that was perfect.
But your segment has proven quite popular on occasion.
Awesome.
A couple of times you gave me some dumbass stuff that I posted.
Right,
But for the most part, it's very talented, very artistic. And I have to tell you, the one I played week before last, the zombie song was fine. But the one I played week before last, where you played the clown with the axe.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
That was my favorite.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah.
And I just want to say,
in the face with blood, and then
Yeah. But the best part was right at the end. The timing was perfect when you did the little horn honk.
Oh yeah. Hey, well, you can thank Glenn Cochrane for editing, putting that little touch in there. It's pretty cool.
He is a genius. He is an absolute genius. I will give Glenn Cochrane all of the credit that I possibly can. Oh, and now the question from the chat room for you, Billy, is what's up with the beard?
Jim Beckholt's brother wants to know what's up with the beard. I don't know, man. It's just there and it's growing, and kind of got lazy for a minute, and then people started telling me to grow it out, so I'm gonna see what it.
I thought maybe you just decided to finally look like you're old enough to buy beer. That was
yeah, that helps.
But okay.
No explanation for the beard, man. It just grew on me.
But it's that time of year. See, I kind of cut mine short. I usually start in like October and then don't shave till Christmas. And then, I finally said, this thing is.
I've never in my life had a beard this long. Never.
I had a beard that long my freshman year in high school, dude.
I shaved. I didn't want to have a hair on my face, so I just continuously shaved, and this is the first time ever that it's been this long.
I like the manly look. Actually, I'm just too late. Honestly, the only reason I have a beard, I hate shaving. I hate it with a passion. This, pair of clippers, trim it up, sometimes go down to goatee, but I hate shaving.
Yeah.
So, everybody now, public announcement. We're going to see if we can take phone calls on this bitch. 859-298-3522. 859-298-3522. We want to know what people are watching. Let's keep it to the commonly, Shudder would be okay. But Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, which I never watch Hulu anymore. It doesn't seem. I need to cancel the bitch. But,
I canceled mine.
or if it's on network TV. We're worried about what people are streaming. Or if you've seen something recently in the theaters. There's been some horror movies out, scattered about. Nothing that's really, I've heard that, has taken traction. But, so if you want to call in and tell it, and you can recommend it, you can steer people away from it. That part, no rules.
Hey, Dr. Sleep is one of my favorites right now.
Of course,
awesome, man.
Joe at Bonehead reviewed that for us. I have not seen. I don't watch any. We were talking. I said, "What's the last movie we went and saw in to the theater and watched?" And first thing came to my mind was Avengers. Then she reminded me I did go see the last Star Wars movie. We only go to our local theater. I live in a small town, everyone. And so I don't, two reasons. The big town theaters are expensive. But my small town theater, it doesn't show horror movies. So I do kind of miss out on, a lot, not just horror movies, a lot of the mainstream movies. They show every superhero movie. They they'll show dramas, but usually it has to be fairly family friendly, to make it here in the little town of Cynthiana, Kentucky. So, just wanted to share that. But now, okay, Billy, I'm hogging the entire show. Now you said you got rid of Hulu. Did you get rid of Hulu for the same reason as me? There wasn't a damn thing on it.
Yeah, man, it was like a repeat. You know, it's like a vicious cycle. Every 2 months, feels like they take something off there, but they replace it with the same thing that they had running the month prior, and they changed the picture to, I guess, give you another feeling like, oh yeah, that's another, that's a different movie, and then you click on it.
Oh yeah, they're good about shuffling stuff. They don't recommend shit. They just shuffle stuff and hope something will catch your eye.
They changed the thumbnails on all the movies that you've already went through a million times, and to make them look different.
Okay, let's now this is one. Of course, people in the chat room are going to throw movies out there. If you want to call in and talk about it, Adam, 859-298-3522. This is one that's been getting some traction on Netflix. I have not watched it. I don't think it's even popped up in my recommendations. That's the other thing. The recommendations are just totally off the rails for me. But, so if anybody wants to call in, tell us about you. Adam Vincent in the chat room says he's already binge watched both seasons. And I didn't even know there was a first season until I heard people talking about watching the second season. So that tells you where I'm at. Have you watched anything lately, Billy, that you want to recommend to the folks?
I have watched the new series. I think it's called The Key. I watched the first 2 episodes.
Lock and Key, I'll bet.
Yeah, Lock and Key.
Lock and Key.
Stephen King's son supposedly has a hand in the creation of that. So it's really interesting. I highly recommend binge watching that. I've just seen the first 2 episodes, and I'm like wanting to get back into it already. So
that was probably going to be the next thing that I watched on Netflix. I haven't started.
Yeah, Netflix has been pushing that on me.
That is one that's on my radar to watch. I've heard good things about it, and now it's got the Billy Crank endorsement. So, what's it about? What is it a thriller? Is it paranormal? I haven't seen enough of the previews to really.
Well, like I said, I just watched the first 2 episodes, and it's looking kind of magical. It's like I said, I don't want to give too much away for people that haven't seen it, but it's one of those fantasy type things that,
What the hell are you going to give away telling me about the first damned episode, Billy?
Well, I mean, some people flip out on that, man.
Just don't tell me how the season ends. I'll be cool. Let's see.
But yeah, it's very interesting. I highly recommend that for everybody to click on that and check it out for real.
I'm going to check here. Somebody reports that our video is not working on the website, and that's because YouTube likes being an ass.
I know. I was sitting here trying to load it up, too, at the same time while I'm on here, and it's not happening.
Well, I apologize that what it is, we're trying to cut back on our streaming cost, so we thought YouTube Live is embeddable. But apparently, they changed the URL of where you can embed it every week, even though it's done through an iframe, which is web geek stuff. So I do apologize. Scarefest television on scarefestradio.com is not going out live tonight, but we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, and we're actually on YouTube somewhere, according to my console here. If you search for Scarefest Radio with Wes Forsyth, you will find the live feed on YouTube. So it's quarter after. Let's do a commercial break, everybody. When we come back, don't forget the phone number is 859-298-3522.
Call us
and tell. Akashic Awareness is a metaphysical healing and learning center unlike any other. A large selection of crystals, gems, and minerals greet you as you walk in the door. But from that point onward, the journey is yours.
They offer a great selection of metaphysical tools, state-of-the-art holistic healing, with classes and lectures scheduled throughout the month. Akashic Awareness is open Tuesday through Saturday, noon until 6:30, 7 on Friday and Saturday. Visit their website for a current calendar of their almost daily special events and guests at akashicawareness.com. And while you are there, be sure to join their email list to stay current. Akashic Awareness, 328 Sycamore Street, Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Scarefest the 13th is coming October 23rd through 25th.
Hear that?
You guys have got to help me!
Whoa, who's your friends?
Don't forget, Sunday's Cake Sale.
Lexington, Kentucky, October 23rd through 25th, thescarefest.com.
G'day Scarefest fans, Glenn here from fakeshemp.net. This week I've got a public announcement for you. Stop what you're doing, pay attention, because you're not going to want to miss this one. Really, you're not going to want to miss this one. This is an absolutely gnarly, depraved, violent, and completely thrilling film from 2007. It blew my mind back then. It still blows my mind. And it's kind of forgotten, and we're going to change that right now because let's have a look at Storm Warning. Oh boy, where do I begin with this one? I could fangasm all over it. Storm Warning is one of those films that hits the spot, it stays with you forever. You know, we all have those sweet spots, and Storm Warning hits mine with a bullseye. So you've heard me mention the name Everett D. Roche. This was his first venture into what was once called the video nasties, but we now call it torture porn. It's a grisly story about a couple whose boat becomes stranded on a remote island, and the only obvious help is a scary-looking house occupied by a family of inbred psychopaths. It's essentially the whole Texas Chainsaw Massacre type of scenario, except this one goes full hammer and tongs, and it sprays the screen red. So the couple in the film, in a story of survival, have to fend off these psychos using whatever means necessary. Lucky for them, there's an entire workshop full of weird and scary looking tools and thingamybobs. No sooner does the violence begin and the audience is thrusted into a barbaric and exhilarating blend of carnage that kind of feels like Saw meets Home Alone. Robert Taylor stars in Storm Warning, who you guys might know from the American TV show Longmire. And the most exciting thing for me, and it should be for you too, is that the movie marked the homecoming of director Jamie Blanks. And if you don't know his name, then you will know his first two movies, which were Urban Legend and Valentine. This guy is a superb horror craftsman. He understands his audience. This is pure horror. It's fast, it's violent, it's chaotic, it's frenzied, and above all else, it's precisely what lovers of Scarefest ought to be lapping up like there's no tomorrow. See what I mean? I'm flabbergasted just by watching the trailer, and it doesn't even do justice. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you the things that they do in this movie. You don't want to know what they do with a bottle. Ugh. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really hope you find this one. There's the DVD. That's the Australian one. The American DVD may have a different cover. I don't know. I don't put that much research into this. Anyway, until next week, have a good one, and I'll catch you then.
Okay, we're back. And then Skype just tried to ring in on my phone, so that was... Glenn, are you still there?
Yes, I am. How's it going, guys?
Well, except for the part where I thought I hung up on Billy for a moment, picking up your call, and had to switch that around. Everything's going grand. Everybody, we are talking to Glenn Cochrane. Glenn is, of course, the figure that you just watched doing movie reviews for us from down under. Glenn, you're sitting now. First, I want to say, Glenn, everybody absolutely loves your segment. There's no getting around it. And now, whether or not we're actually drumming up any business for these movies or not, I do not know. But what Now this is me being an idiot American. Do movies hit in Australia in theaters roughly the same time as they do in the States?
Yeah, these days they pretty much land theatrically the same time as the States. It used to be different. It used to be around about 6 months difference. But these days with the internet and streaming and all these kind of things sort of getting in the way, they've got to get on the front foot and put things on the screen at the same time.
I kind of figured that's the way it works, because I can't tell you how many times we're having our opening weekend and they're telling me how many people have watched in China. So I kind of figured that they had kind of worked the bugs out of distribution. Now, Glenn, as a movie connoisseur, what has been your most favorite recent movie? Something that's theater movie.
Yeah, so there's a brand new one called The Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage. That's it's only hit our screens now this week in Australia. It's an independent film, so I don't know how many screens it's landed on in America, but that's definitely the one to catch. It's fantastic.
I have not even heard of it, so I'm going to assume the number is very, very low.
Well, look, this one is it's the return of Richard Stanley, the director from the 90s who made Hardware and Dust Devil, and he got fired from the island of Dr. Moreau and sort of disappeared for 20 years. So this is sort of the return of him, which is a big deal to a lot of horror fans.
Now, I don't know why I'm treating this like an interview. I guess I should have asked you what you actually called to talk about.
Well, you're looking for callers, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this.
Okay, well, fair enough. Now, what about the streaming services down there? I just don't know. I mean, do you get to see roughly the same version of Netflix or whatever down there as we do, or I guess Amazon Prime is pretty much worldwide.
Yes, well, we do. We get most of the streaming services. However, there's like a quota on the amount of Australian content they have to show. So we would have a lot more Aussie content, obviously. But there's probably a little bit less altogether compared to yours. I think yours is a much more comprehensive service. And we don't get
useless.
Shudder. That's coming this year.
There's like 10 good movies on there and 2 or 3 good series at a time. The rest of it's just filler. It's just filler.
It's pretty much rubbish.
Now I knew that you got some of it. Billy, have you seen Dracula yet?
I haven't.
Oh my God, Billy!
How is it?
I know Glenn's seen it.
Yeah, but I've got an issue here, Wes. You told everybody to turn the subtitles on because you couldn't understand the accents. That's on you, mate.
Actually, now that really only affected the last episode. Now, the first and second episode, I did not have a big issue with. But I will admit, fully having my stupid-ass Kentucky accent and hearing, the third episode where they were doing what I call it British Street. I don't even know what the accent is. I didn't understand Cockney. Cockney. I did not understand half of what that chick said. So
that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
granted.
check that out.
But don't you think it's a good idea? Because I hate to admit it, I had to do the same thing on Witcher. With Witcher, though, it wasn't so much that I couldn't understand them. The dialogue was so fast and low a lot of times that I couldn't hear it, and that's age on top of everything else. But so yeah,
I'll pay you that one. That was hard.
Okay, there. See, it's an international thing.
Witcher's badass, man.
Hey, have you got to see that entire one, Billy?
Not the whole thing, like probably half of it, but it's badass.
Yeah,
you're into video games and fantasy shit, and that's for you, man.
I'm not. I watched it as a series, not having any preconceptions about whatever the hell the video game geeks were talking about. I still liked it. I thought it was a good story. I thought it was well written. No cliches, in my opinion, to really speak of. And that goes a long way with me. Okay, Glenn, back to Dracula. Now, my thesis is that the third episode was a disappointment. Now, unlike my friend Joe Lewis, I don't think it was the last 15 minutes. What were the worst 15 minutes in television history? But I do, it felt, this happens a lot on these series, on these limited run series, in my opinion, especially with anything that has Stephen King's name on it. It's like he runs out of stuff to talk about. And that one felt like they wrote themselves in a corner. They told everything they wanted to talk about. Let's go now. We'll just end the story here.
Well, they only had so much of, they only had one book to work from. So, that's exactly right. They sort of get to the end of the book or so. What do we do now? Let's just make shit up. Let's just do something different. And look, I don't think it worked particularly well all the way through either, but it was still fun. I like atmospheric and, just it looked really nicely gothic, and it's good to see Dracula on the screen.
Well, now, okay. Now, as a movie connoisseur, let's forget about the third episode. There wasn't anything about it that I thought that worked, except the first 10 minutes were important because it kind of closed out the second episode. What you just said that it had some flaws. What did you dislike about concentrating on the first two episodes?
Oh man, the episodes don't really I can't recall the specific episodes. I just know the overall impression I got for the whole series was that when it strayed from the source material, which it did a lot most of the way through actually, that bothered me. I don't like it when things take source material and just do new things with them.
Okay.
I was willing to go along. I was willing to go along with it, but it pissed me off more than I enjoyed it.
See, you gotta stop reading so much stuff. You have to treat cinema as its own art form. If you start comparing cinema to books and miniseries to movies and stuff, you'll never be happy. It'll just make you old and grumpy like me, Glenn.
That's the thing, if anyone out there has ever followed my work, I preach that. That is exactly my mantra, but I don't know, something about this one sort of just went too far. It's sort of, jumping the shark in Dracula terms, I think.
Well, having not read the book, I have no point of reference to talk to you about that part. I liked it in that it took what I considered a classic character and updated him without overdoing it. The only Dracula movie I can remember liking better was George Hamilton.
I'm partial to the Gary Oldman, the Francis Ford Coppola version. I'm trying to remember that. I know I've seen it because I remember Gary Oldman playing the part. Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder, and it was.
Yeah. Now I remember. No. I think I liked this. I hate to say better, but I thought the storyline flowed very, and plus, because they could spread it out over 3 episodes, that did give them some more time, but I liked it in that it was a very classical look at the vampire, which I believe should be charming and total dickheads at the same time. And I
think Billy would agree. It's nothing on Dracula Dead and Loving It by Mel Brooks. I think that's where it's at.
Yeah.
No, that's another. I know I've seen it. I'm trying to remember all the parts. I'm trying to remember all the parts. But see, okay, now I remember what I didn't like about the Gary Oldman version of it. I distinctly remember feeling like he took it over the top more times than I was comfortable with.
Yeah, I think he was very true to the book, though. That's Dracula, very fantastical, and
Here we go again. You got to read the book. Okay. Fair enough. Everybody, we're at the commercial break. Glenn, I want to thank you for calling in. People, we're going to open up the phone lines. We do have some people wanting to call in. So everybody, this has been Glenn Cochrane. This is Scarefest Television. We'll be right back.
Hey, thanks, Glenn.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
Join us at the Universal Energy Expo May 2nd and 3rd at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center. Meet celebrity guest Coyote Chris Sutton. Door prizes and workshops available with admission. While here, check out our readers, healers, and one-of-a-kind vendors. Admission the day of the event is $15 daily, $20 for a weekend pass. Discount tickets now available at the Silver Wolf at 4205 Richardson Road in Independence, Kentucky. The Universal Energy Expo. Come curious, leave enlightened.
All right, kiddo, lights out.
Night, Daddy.
Night, son.
Scarefest is coming October 23rd through 25th to the Lexington, Kentucky Convention Center. TheScarefest.com for tickets and more information.
Okay, guys, I'm only reading one story tonight.
This week, horror history takes us across the Atlantic Ocean to London, England, 1983, where a plumber has been called to an apartment building due to backed-up pipes. Upon inspection, the plumber discovers that the clog is due to human tissue and bones. It was quickly determined that the tissue and bones had come from an apartment belonging to Dennis Nilsson. Police immediately questioned Nilsson about the discovery, and he quickly admitted to having the rest of the body in a closet. After his arrest, Nilsson confessed to 15 other murders, and the details of his crimes would later get him the nickname the British Jeffrey Dahmer. He may always be known as Britain's second worst serial killer of all time. Horror movie history this week brings us the release of the only horror movie in history to win an Oscar for Best Picture, The Silence of the Lambs. Starring Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, this psychological thriller delves into the mind of a madman, Dr. Hannibal Lecter. Dr. Lecter is helping rookie FBI agent Clarice on the hunt for a serial killer by the name of Buffalo Bill. Drawing inspiration from real life, Buffalo Bill's character was created by combining known serial killers, Ed Gein and Edmund Kemper, and this no doubt adds to the horror of the film. Silence of the Lambs is undoubtedly a horror masterpiece, and its influence on pop culture is still felt almost 30 years after its initial release.
And hello, everybody, and welcome back to Scarefest Television. The lesson we've learned tonight so far is I need to see if Skype for Business is better than regular Skype, because every time I pick up a phone call, I cut Billy the hell off.
It's all right. No biggie.
So we've got another phone call. We are talking to Kim and Amber of Scarefest fame. Hello, ladies. Welcome to the show.
Bad Santa and Billy and Anita.
Welcome.
How are you all?
Good. Freezing to death.
You're what?
I'm freezing to death.
Well, put a coat on.
I made him wear a hat.
I'm ready.
I made him wear a hat.
I'm ready for summer, man.
I'm too. This happened to wear pants is ridiculous. I'm going to put some shorts on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
shorts.
me and Amber have to, tan. We're not used to this being pale white. We're not used to being pale white. We're used to tanning.
Anyway, back to the topic du jour. I don't know. Do you all sit and watch TV together? What are Kim and Amber watching?
What we're watching, well, I'm doing Amber's hair tonight, so we're still at the salon, which is haunted, by the way. So we're over here playing with ghosts while I do hair.
Well, I didn't mean this very damn moment. I meant in the big scheme of things.
You don't really want, you really want to know what we're watching. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Chicago PD.
Well, we've got a couple real horror fans. I thought you'd say something about porn.
It has to be horror. I mean, it's blood and guts sometimes. Amber watches Sabrina. I watch a lot of serial killer documentaries, honestly.
Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, that's a brutal show, man.
I watched a few episodes of it when it first came out. It didn't grab me.
Dude.
Maybe I've gotten to the age where I get creeped out anytime I'm watching a teenage girl on video. But
well, you are the bad Santa.
But yeah, okay. So I might go back if the three of you want to recommend it highly. I might go back and finish watching it. Is it really that good?
Watch it. I'm more into serial killer documentaries, so now I highly recommend the Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron because Lord help me Jesus.
I haven't seen that one.
This is what's wrong with this country.
It's very, very good. Zach does a excellent job of playing him. It was filmed in Kentucky, but there's times that you cannot tell him apart from the real Ted Bundy. It is that spot on.
Wow.
Yeah, the looks of them and everything, they look dead on each other. And there's somehow they do the filming of it that they combine the actual footage of Ted and the filming of the movie, and they coincide together, and you don't know the difference in the two.
Jake Godbold, if you can hear me, I know you're, type this in chat room. He might see it. I will call you back, Jake. I have your phone number. I will call you back for the final
Jake,
segment.
I'm more important right now. Me and
no,
Amber.
I don't want to hang up on Billy again. But I know how to add someone to the call. That's what we need to do. We need to have people text us their phone numbers, and then I can add them to the call and not dick this up so bad like I've done tonight. So we're my computer is making all kinds of noises. So Ted Bundy serial killer thing.
Now, my favorite of all time serial killer movie, don't say a word, is Ed Gein, and of course, who plays Ed Gein is Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
Want to hear it?
I watched part of that. I don't know if I was getting ready for the Ed guy. I don't remember if I was getting ready for the Ed Gein episode or if I was getting ready for the Kane Hodder episode. But one way or the other, I did actually watch part of that. It looked good, but I never did revisit it.
Because I think we talked about it. I think he was getting ready for the Kane episode.
It could have been. I like to do my homework when I have reasonably famous people on the show.
Yeah, and especially one that'll kill you.
He didn't kill me he didn't kill me then. He won't kill me now. Have you been to the theater lately, or is everything TV for you too?
I went and saw Halloween.
Did you saw?
That was about the last time I've been to the theater.
I was gonna say that was pre-Avengers, I believe. So I've been to the theater since you have.
No, I went and saw Lion King.
Oh,
that
God.
was the last event.
Well, I mean, actually, if you think about the story, that's kind of a horror movie because, you know, it's about how to kill someone and get ahead in life. So,
yeah, that's troubling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, circle of life, you know. Yeah, kind of.
And then they come back and get you later. It's all, life is ugly. Life in the animal kingdom is just ugly.
It is, yeah, true.
Great movie, though.
Last movie, no, I might have seen, I don't even remember what I saw last, but I think that was it.
Now, okay, now here, honest to God question. Okay, you like
the Joker, that was what I saw last.
Well, no, I think that qualifies as a horror movie.
That was some effed up stuff.
I know, right? But it's real.
And then they get it wrong. The Joker's the one that killed Bruce Wayne's family. I'm sorry. They got that all wrong.
Well, now you say that, but the canon kind of changed for the DC universe in Batman, the Dark Knight series.
Well, yeah, true, but... And I'm sorry, but Michael Keaton's the best Dark Knight ever, or Batman.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
Who?
George Clooney, then Christian Bale.
Somebody in the chat room must know the official comic book canon. Who was the Joker involved in Bruce Wayne's parents' demise in the comic book? I'll bet someone in our chat room knows that question. I remember it from the original Batman series. Yeah. You know, but then they slid it in when they wanted to use a Joker character. They brought it in later. It wasn't like it was right out of the gate. But in the Dark Knight, it was just some hoodlum.
Really? Because everything I ever watched, it was the Joker.
See, Glenn Cochrane agrees with me. It was a generic mugger in the comic book. See?
Well, this was a clown that killed them in the Joker.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Not to give away spoilers. Not to give away spoilers, but you're describing I didn't think Bruce Wayne was a part of the Joker movie. Or his parents.
His Wayne's family and Bruce Wayne was in the Joker movie.
I did not know that.
Oh, spoiler. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
Spoilers, man.
Well, I mean, everybody. So Billy, is she telling me the gone honest truth?
No.
So in other words, our spoiler is a bunch of bullshit. Never happened. Wasn't part of the movie because they would have put it in the trailer. They would have put that in the trailer. So, oh God, how do we get anything done around here?
So the main reason that me and Amber called in, is that we want to thank Brandon and Nicole Griffith for all their hard work that they put into Scarefest and for putting up with all of us. That includes you, Wes. And we want to thank you and Anita for all the hard work that you guys do, and to tell all of y'all how much we love you, and to thank all of our staff for the wonderful job that they do every year.
So you called in just to suck up. Is that what you called in?
Wes, you know by now me and Amber don't suck up to nobody.
Well, you just spent 5 minutes doing it. Okay, I appreciate your kind words. And I'm sure Brandon and Nicole, if they're listening, which I know Brandon's not watching.
I know
he's probably going through his 3 weeks of emails that he hasn't gotten around to yet tonight. That's what he does on weekends.
Those out yesterday.
But Nicole occasionally does watch the show in some respect. Okay, congratulations, though. You did take me right up to the commercial break. Everybody, you're watching Scarefest Television. We'll be right back, and I am going to call Jake Godbold during the commercial break because I'm surprised the dude's not doing movie reviews for us. I really am.
Do you feel lost in life? Do you seem to be stuck in emotions that are not yours? Is your home not the sanctuary it should be? Contact Spirit Mechanics, where they take a team approach to your metaphysical and spiritual problems. Spirit Mechanics specializes in aura cleansing, stone attunement, attachment removal, and house cleansings. Spirit Mechanics tailors their approach to your individual spiritual path and needs. Now find them monthly at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market in Lexington. Or on Facebook by searching Spirit Mechanics, that's MECHANIX. Spirit Mechanics, for your spiritual health and well-being.
Coyote Chris Sutton.
Shamanism.
Spiritual advisement.
Paranormal investigations.
Inspirational presentations.
Bringing light to the darkest places for over 20 years. Go to coyotechris.com to learn more.
Hello, Scarefest. This is Joe Lewis from Bonehead Weekly with another review. So I wanted to find, is there movies out there that I haven't seen that are streaming right now that you can find easy access to? There's a ton. There's this movie. It's called Apostle. Why did I pick Apostle to review this week? Well, a few reasons. One, it's written and directed by Gareth Evans. If you don't know who Gareth Evans is, well, he's a Welsh-born director, and he directed two movies that I absolutely love called The Raid and The Second Raid. They are absolutely, positively stupendous action films, and I can't recommend them enough. Go out, find them. I have, I think, the DVD or Blu-ray copy sitting over there on my shelf of both of them. Check them out. He made a movie for Netflix in 2018 called Apostle, starring Dan Stevens and Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen was in the Underworld films. He's in a ton of things. He's in that serial killer show now about he's the serial killer and his son's out trying to track other serial killers. Anyway, fantastic actor. Dan Stevens was in a movie called The Guest. I highly recommend. You probably also know him from something called Beauty and the Beast. Apostle. So I had never actually, when I was starting to Google and research the great movies or maybe hidden gems out there on your streaming services, I'd never heard of Apostle. And I thought, how did I not hear of Apostle? It's directed by Gareth Evans. I loved his movies. Like I said, I love The Raid. The Apostle. Here's the story via Joe Lewis. There's this guy. Takes place during the turn of the century, 1890 to 1910, somewhere right around there. I don't remember exactly what the year is. And he is going to go find his sister. His sister's been kidnapped by this group of crazies that live on this island, and they are wanting a ransom. And he doesn't like his dad, but he loves his sister, and he's going to go help his sister. All right. That's the plot. He gets there, and there's a hell of a lot of crazy. There's a lot of films you could say this movie's like. Well, the first one that comes up is The Wicker Man. I will say, in its defense, there's a lot of blood. If you like blood and gore and violence, the ultra violence, there's a lot of it in this. There's quite a bit in this movie. Do you like period pieces? Well, this movie's for you too. Do you like Dan Stevens? Dan Stevens is a really good actor. I just hate that Beauty and Beast piece of shit, live action toy crap. I don't understand Disney when they do those things. Anyway, great cast, great acting, good, solid dialogue, fantastic director with a wonderful pedigree, right? Really well made. It's beautifully shot. I love the location. It's got a twist ending. So basically he gets there. Things aren't quite what they seem. There's some sort of maybe a demon. I don't want to give away too much. Living under the island. They may be sacrificing, trying to get the crops. This sound familiar? You heard this plot several times over and over. I think my problem is that I just didn't feel anything for anybody in the movie. I couldn't connect. And as much as I love the director, this just didn't do it for me. I prefer The Raid. It gets a little bit more interesting the last 30 minutes. I like that it doesn't quite shy away from the suspect supernatural part of it. I like it when movies just take hold. But should you watch The Apostle? If you like turn of the century period horror pieces, then you should watch The Witch. I know. All right. If you want to watch a movie about a crazy bunch of folk living on an island worshiping something, trying to get the harvest to come in, then you should watch The Wicker Man. Not the Nicolas Cage one, the original with Christopher Lee. Or Midsommar. In fact, in a week or two, I'm going to tackle Midsommar and Hereditary on here because I'm a fan. So there's a ton of movies that are like it that I could recommend over it. So if you have Netflix and you have 2 hours to kill, or maybe you want to do it over 2 nights, but I don't know that it's a good movie, Bonehead Weekly, and I'll see you at Scarefest in a few months.
Welcome back to Scarefest Television. We are on the phone now with Mr. Jake Godbold, Scarefest legend.
Hey, fuckers.
Hey.
Well, I told him he could cuss, so I should have expected that right out of the gate. Now, first of all, whatever Jake is calling in to talk about, I guarantee you, he didn't read the book first, did you?
Hell no. I don't read books. I just watch movies.
There you go. See,
if I wanted to read the book, I'd read the book. I think the only movie that I've ever seen that made me want to read the book was Pet Sematary, and that's it.
Now, I've had people make the argument to me, Jake, that all Stephen King movies, you should go back and either read the book ahead, well, preferably afterwards, otherwise you'll say, wow, that sucked compared to the book. But now, Stephen King, I think, is an outlier. Everybody tells me, I don't remember any of his movies or series or anything that people did. The first thing, well, the book was better, and the ending was smoother, et cetera, et cetera.
I hear that all the time.
The way I look at it is this. If you want to read the book, read the book. If you don't want to read the book, fine. The movie should just stand alone on its own. So,
I agree.
I mean, sure. I mean, everyone keeps saying, "Oh, the book was so much better than the movie." I was like, well, I guess. I mean, the only major difference is you get to watch a bunch of children rape a poor girl, but whatever. I mean, I don't know. You don't need to read the books. That's just me.
Well, that, and if you could read the book in 2 hours, there would be no point in making a movie. Jake, now what did you actually call in about? I'm sure it wasn't just a bitch about Stephen King with me.
First of all, I just want to say Joker did not have anything to do with Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed. It was just a low-level thug. It was just a low-level thug named Joe Chill who killed him. And just to say, I'm about to watch the most romantic film ever made, which is in theme with today, and that's Return of the Living Dead Part 3.
Nice.
Right. Good old Mindy Clark. We really, really, really need to get her for Scarefest some year.
Put her on the list, dude. Put her on the list. Now, one that is coming out since I didn't realize how dark it was going to be. Fantasy Island. Now, we've got the trailer loaded if we want to show it. I remember the series taking a dark turn every now and then, but at the end of the night, everybody was like puppies and unicorns and everything worked out. But I watched the trailer for the new Fantasy Island movie, and it looks like it's a borderline slasher flick.
Granted, I don't recall ever watching an episode of Fantasy Island, but I remember watching the trailer for it recently going, hey, that might not actually suck. So that'd be worth a shot.
I of course, it just opened tonight, so I don't have any feedback on it from anybody. But the only thing that scares me, Jake, is like the banana.
Is Anita?
No, well, beyond that, the Banana Splits movie. Having grown up, and I didn't even like the show that much, but just having grown up with the Banana Splits and then having them take my childhood and turn it into a slasher flick. I think that was supposed to be a Five Nights at Freddy's film, but they couldn't get the rights, so they said, hey, let's do this. So
Why not? I'm all for it.
But yeah, the only thing I'm going to say about the trailer, now Michael Pena, I hope I say his name right. I like him. I loved him in Ant-Man, and I've liked him in other movies, but he plays Mr. Rourke, and Ricardo Montalban.
I don't know who that is.
Well, okay,
yeah,
the guy in the white suit. For your reference, it was the guy in the white suit.
Yeah, Khan. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ricardo Montalban played that part, and he was a commanding presence on the island. Michael is a good actor, but unless he surprises the hell out of me, he's not a commanding presence. So I don't know why they decided they needed to cast him in that role. That felt hinky. That felt weird to me.
I just know it has the chick from Truth or Dare, and she's hot as hell. So more power to him. So
hey.
I'll watch it for that alone.
Now, what does Jake Godbold watch on TV?
I've been watching a lot of Last Drive-In with Joe Bob lately. Getting ready to meet him for on the 29th, and I have a huge crush on Darcy the Mail Lady. So
well,
that's enough right there.
I can understand that. Of course.
Of course.
But but saying you watch Joe Bob, that's almost a cop out, because then that just means you're watching other horror movies. Right. Is he always the best part of it?
It's a nice little mixture of both, actually, depending on the movie. I mean, I've seen some movies I never thought in a million years I would watch, like Blood Harvest starring Tiny Tim. So, I mean, why not? And then his commentary is always awesome. So,
oh my God, I don't know why I thought of this. We didn't finish it. I started watching Velocipaster a night or two ago.
Velocipaster?
Velocipaster. It's on Amazon Prime, I believe it is. I don't think it was Netflix. I think it was Amazon. And basically it's about a minister who is nicked by a tooth from a dinosaur, and now he changes into a dinosaur and fights evil.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Did I say it wrong?
Oh yeah. I just heard the pastor.
Okay, so. I'm sorry. Velocipaster.
That's okay.
And it's already given me some of the best lines that I've heard in a horror movie for a long time. And so I'm going to watch it, and I'll probably watch it a second time just to make notes. When I review a movie, I like to watch it twice. One time to enjoy it, get the feel of it, and then I go back and either rip it to shreds or whatever the hell I do.
Good. I will say this: I did pick up the first season of the new Swamp Thing, and or the only season of Swamp Thing now. That's another story. But with Derek Mears as Swamp Thing, and I saw the first episode of it, and I said, "Hey, this isn't bad." So there you go.
I've of course now that's on the DC streaming service. I've actually thought about buying that for a month or two and going ahead and binging everything and then getting done with it.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, so I actually paid for a year for it, and I've been regretting it ever since. Especially after they canceled Swamp Thing, and then they brag about how we have all the superhero movies, and last month they got rid of all the Superman films. So it's like, okay, whatever. So
well, then there's more DC stuff on the CW app than there is on DC Universe. And everybody, we're at the
that for free.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, everybody. Jake, thanks for calling in. Everybody, we've got to the end of the episode. Time flew by. I had a great time. We will do this again with a better plan. Billy Crank, yeah. I feel like I wasted an hour of your time.
What's happening?
I feel like I wasted an hour of your time. I didn't expect people to call in. I really thought that me and you would have to sit here and bullshit our way through the hour, but it played out quite well.
It worked out good.
So, everybody, this has been Scarefest Television. Thanks for watching.